Good afternoon. Time to talk about paranoia. Paranoia and Scientology go hand in hand. Like, what did Forrest Gump say? Like peas and carrots? Something like that. Scientology and paranoia are inseparable energies. They, one, well, paranoia can exist without Scientology, but Scientology cannot exist without paranoia. So, paranoia is a state of mind that Scientologists and the whole so-called religion as a whole is completely wrapped up in. And so today's theme is paranoia in Scientology and the role that it plays and how it's such proof of the, hey Jeff, hey Dan, paranoiatology. Right. Well, you know, cults do like making up their own words, so that's a good one. Every Scientology location you could ever go to, you're going to notice a lot of security, a lot of not only having a gate, but having the plastic so that you cannot see through. It's not enough just to have a metal gate that keeps people out. We need to keep people's eyeballs out as well as their physical bodies. In the distance, we have the Hollywood sign. I don't know how well you can see it there. And so we have this camera, we have that camera, and then you see behind that we have a whole array. And it goes on and on. What kind of, I don't know if that H-looking structure is part of Scientology or the building next door. But that looks like some kind of weird microwavy kind of thing, I would say. So we have all of this That's what they don't want you to see. A very top secret parking lot. And one of the fun things about what we do here is just by being here, just by shining a little light on these people, we allow them to show off their paranoia to the world. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know you're in a spiritual atmosphere when you have gates, when you have spikes, right? That's when you know, damn, it feels like the Dalai Lama must be near. It feels like meditation time. Am I gonna open my third eye up today? Because I'm feeling them spiritual vibes here. And it's feeling like I might, as Scientologists would say, I might exteriorize, or something like that, right? I might go outside of my body. So, spiritual spikes, yes, they're very, very spiritual. But not only is the paranoia What a way to start the sentence. The paranoia is not only about security measures on a technological level, but it's also a religion that is based on endless lie detector tests and security checks, sec checks as they call them in Scientology. And so here we have another camera, another camera. Could there be more? Another camera, and a camera behind that. So, as you can see, as we approach this area, and this is where much of the evil of Scientology that afflicts the entire world is done. This building, right here, this is a central nexus of evil of Scientology. And let's see what we can see about it through transparency. Oh, closed blinds, no transparency. But yes, paranoia. Paranoia rules. This is the evil core. This is the middle management. When David Miscavige took over after the death of L. Ron Hubbard, well, we shouldn't call it the death of L. Ron Hubbard because obviously L. Ron Hubbard was encumbered by his body, and his body was getting in the way of his research, so he had to drop the body. It looks sketchy and abandoned, but up there are evildoers in the higher floors, not susceptible to hearing our voices challenging them. He should have dropped his body off a cliff. No, he died on drugs in a trailer with rotting teeth. But of course, David Miscavige said he dropped his body because it was getting in the way of his amazing research, and he needed to go do higher levels of research where the body was an encumbrance to his higher research. We're still waiting for the results of that research. They don't seem to be in. Oh, come in for the tour. All are welcome. All are welcome? All welcome. Oh, now you can schedule a tour. Hubbard. Look at the grandiosity, the glory, the magnificence of Hubbard. Can you imagine? That's the guy that you're praying to. That's the guy that you're bowing down to. That's the books that you're reading, the unreadable Dianetics. Yeah, there's actually something you can actually see into. Amazing. Such transparency, such openness to the world. Does it continue to a next window? No, of course not. Did you think you were getting more than just a little peek? Hell no. Oh, but cameras. Okay, so there's a camera there, and there's a camera there, and there's a camera there. The paranoia of Scientology is legendary. In the world of paranoid schizophrenic maniacs, there is none other than Scientology to set the standard of excellence. What religion has interrogations. In Scientology, they're called sec checks, security checks. Before you can really even be a part of it, you have to go through an interrogation. Do you have any negative or critical thoughts about Scientology? Do you have any close family members who have expressed skepticism in Scientology? Watch Aaron's Growing Up in Scientology video today where he talked about that. All the questions that people have to ask to be in Scientology. It was amazing. And I want to follow up on that a little bit. And that's what we're doing. So they are, and this is one of the reasons. One part of the paranoia of the cult is that they're too paranoid to even be available to get a delivery. This guy's trying to make a delivery. He has the address, but it's a whole ordeal just to get somebody to open the door. And we're talking of what? A 10, 12, 15-story building? Shut down. You got to go in the side entrance just to make a delivery. And meanwhile, speaking of paranoia, this side entrance was one of the places that the process servers came very often to try to to serve David Miscavige for his legal cases. And when they showed up here, these people are just claiming they don't even know who the hell David Miscavige is. They have no clue. What are you talking about, sir? And so just delivering a package. This is Ivar and Hollywood Boulevard in Hollywood. So you see, just for them to do basic stuff, right? So the guy goes to the front door. He finds a guard. The guard is able to tell him about this door. Oh, then he gets on the intercom, and on the intercom, they tell him to go back to the front door. Now, this is something that is costing this guy time and money, because he should be able to just go to the address that is given to him and have somebody open a door for him. But no, paranoia reigns supreme. And so, yeah, I mean, all of the Scientology buildings would make a great something else besides Scientology, for sure. They all are amazing buildings. I mean, I don't think I've seen a bad one yet. And hey, there's the protectors of Scientology, hard at work, protecting Scientology from the freedom seekers. Yeah, they almost have 100%. This one, they have a little bit of an opening so that you can gaze upon L. Ron Hubbard and in a most worshipful way, and feel blessed to be in the presence of his statue and his waterfall thingy. Yeah, I did love that for sale sign idea. That was nice. His bust. Busted flat in Baton Rouge with L. Ron Hubbard. So why the paranoia? Because if you are at cause, they have this thing, at cause, like you are a creator being and you make stuff happen, and you you pull things in, and so anything that happens to Scientology, they pulled it in. So what's there to be paranoid about? If you pulled me in, then I'm supposed to be here. And all you have to do is do some Dianetics auditing, whatever, and clear your little engram, your little issue that pulled me in. So just do that. Don't be paranoid about me. Why do you need cameras? Why are you so afraid, Scientology? You know, there were many martyrs of many religions that had such faith that they would walk straight into the worst situations ever. I mean, what about those Christians fighting the lions in the Roman Colosseum? Scientologists would create a conspiracy theory, and but they definitely wouldn't be like, yeah, sure, throw me to the lions. I have faith in my religion. They don't. If you had faith, you wouldn't need all these cameras. You wouldn't need to interrogate everybody. You wouldn't be hostile to anybody who wants to question you. You would just stand in your faith and say, well, we respect your right to disagree. I agree about that, Squirrel Squad. Yeah. There should not be copyright strikes for people who are not trying to record their music, absolutely. And I think it will work out that way, because a lot of these initiatives of Scientology are things that haven't really had adequate precedents set. And so there's but when they keep doing the same thing over and over, showing their intention to block the free flow of information, it doesn't take long for other people to see the pattern and to get what's going on. And so YouTube's going to know what they're doing, and then YouTube might make some general rule. We're not doing copy strikes for any music like that is just playing in the environment and that the person has no control over. And they're certainly not making that their selling point. So it's not like anybody's trying to get over on Scientology by broadcasting, it's not Odo, but it's close. That's pretty funny. They have an auto thing right there. So, here we go. Hollywood Boulevard. In between the rains, after the rain. Odo! And over there, 1 block away, we have Hollywood and Vine. Across the street, we have Applied Scholastics. This is where the cult that keeps members from going to college thinks that they are the leaders in scholastics. The only scholastics Scientologists are into is looking up words in the dictionary. That's about it. There's not much more scholastics than that going on with Scientology. So, once again, weirdness prevails in the land of Scientology, and making claims that I could go over there. The thing is that the Applied Scholastics is also for children, so I don't want to be accused of recording children or anything, but I can check it out and just ignore the children. So down that way is where the testing center is. And so here's Applied Scholastics. Oh, I don't really see a bunch. Okay. Applied Scholastics Hollywood. Education services and materials based on the works of L. Ron Hubbard. L. Ron Hubbard, the man we all revere. L. Ron. L. Ron. If you name your kid L. Ron, that kid is going to get their ass kicked in middle school and high school. Don't you think? That's a good way. It's like A Boy Named Sue. Remember that song, A Boy Named Sue? Yeah, that's like A Boy Named Elron. You name your kid Elron so that he gets his ass kicked every day, and that toughens him up so he can deal with the world. Yeah, Elron. Yeah, that could be Spanish. Oh, I'm sure it's by rote. I'm sure it's like 90% looking everything up in the dictionary and thinking you're a genius because you could do that and because you could recite the dictionary definitions of certain words, which I always admit I'm not good at. Anytime somebody in grad school or whatever, college, and they'd say, well, how do you define research? And I'd be like, I don't know. Like, it's just research. I know what research is. Yeah, but what's the definition of research? Well, that's when I'm a drooling dumbass with no clue. And that's where Scientologists have me. They have me beat on dictionary definitions for sure. And that's it. That's about it. Well, some of them have been starved for a long time, so they definitely don't have my weight issue either. Because of their starvation. You get L. Ron hungry. Oh my God. Well, good thing the Donner place is right next door. Yeah, because exactly. He didn't want to get his ass kicked by Lafayette Ron. Damn. That gets your ass kicked even more. And across the street, we see an empty building with a bunch of cameras all over the place. So either that is a Scientology location, and based on the number of curtains and blinds, I would say, and cameras, I would say this really looks very Scientological to me, right? So we have a camera here. We have 2 or 3 cameras in this vicinity. We have that white camera. Oh yeah, there's another one up there in that corner, right? And then we have a speaker where they could play their copyrighted music. Yes, please report us all to OSA. We need that discipline of OSA because nobody knows how to make it hurt so good like OSA. OSA! You make it hurt so good. Yeah, so what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh man, I'm losing count. 8, 9, 10, 11. We got at least 12 stories over there. Mainly using curtain tech. And so this is the building where much of the evil doings in this quadrant of the Galactic Federation, this is where these things are, and all fictional, yes. So yes, much of the evil doing of the entire Galactic Federation is plotted from this very building. And what I did not complete earlier. So when L. Ron Hubbard dropped his body to do further research in the galactic netherworlds, then David Miscavige took over, and what he did was he got rid of all of Elrond's people. I mean, it's a coup. It's a coup. That's what we do in a coup. We get rid of everybody connected with the other leader, because in a coup situation, those people have legitimacy because of their attachment to the original leader. So I've heard that about the penthouse at the top. Yeah. One of David Miscavige's many lairs, I have heard, where he can hide from the police and from process servers. Another part of the paranoia of the Church of Scientology. And so what happened was David Miscavige got rid of upper management in Scientology in one movement, and he made it so that Scientology, and this is all from Aaron, I did not do specific research, I will quote my sources when I remember them. And so what he did was he made it so middle management ran Scientology and everything went through him. But then, of course, there's all kind of shell companies and front groups and all of that, so that he can... I don't think anybody has been stopped from live streaming because of the copyright strikes. I think Jessica got one strike from the other night, like last Saturday night or whatever, in North Hollywood. And oh, Chris Without a Hellcat can't live stream now? Oh, damn, that's not good. So I wonder how they got him there, because you need 3 copyright strikes and you need them to be sustained. Right, they got one. I knew about them getting one, SP Squirrel. And DOA? Okay, well, you know, when I hear that music blasting, I just talk a little louder. Like, that's what I did last night when they started playing the music when I walked by. I just started talking louder, which is not hard for me, obviously. And then I just walked out of earshot. He got his today. He got one today, SP Squirrel, or he got his third. Oh my God. One today, okay. And still can't live stream, okay. Well, yeah, thank you about my voice. So this is, again, this goes to my thesis of the day, the paranoia of Scientology, the fact that they blare their own shitty music out to the world in order to shut down voices of dissent. Pretty messed up. And the thing is, you need those 3 strikes within, I think, a 90-day period. and they have 10 days that they have to actually sue you. And right, he plays other music. I don't know how it works, but my theory, that is very uninformed, is that if I talk loud over it, that it's probably going to be okay. Right, they have to send proof that they are taking legal action, and they have 10 days to do that. And Aaron said that every time this happened to him, that they never did take the legal action. So up ahead, you can see the Hollywood sign in the background if your screen's bigger than a phone. Right, talking loud's probably better. And I think there's no way they're going to be able, look, for one thing, YouTube makes more money out of us than they do out of Scientology. That's for damn sure. So, they're earning money off of these live streams. They're getting a lot of viewers. So it would behoove them to make it more possible. Oh, here we have another building of obfuscation. What is Scientology hiding? What do you think they're hiding?
Hey, they corrupt. They corrupt. Fuck Scientology 2024.
And the public agrees. There's no easier way to get agreement from random people walking down the street than just talk shit about Scientology. Right? Kilter Films, I don't believe it. Yeah, it's like the only people that will give you any pushback on that message. Oh, here we got the Capitol Records building in the background. My favorite LA building, which people wonder about, but I just think it's cool. And I like the old school blind system on that building. A lot of music has been made and continues to be made in that place. And a lot of negativity is made in these Scientology locales. So I guess the universe is balanced between the forces of positivity and negativity, Scientology being the negativity, obviously. But luckily, their paranoia is so cartoonish that it just makes everybody outside of the cult laugh and just look at them as silly clowns. It's like Scientologists, I'm sure, are all convinced of the need for all of their cameras. And everybody else can see. Now, I'm not 100% sure that's Scientology. It is a different building, but based on the characteristics of the building, now I got micro. Okay, I get so many different famous people that my voice sounds like that I think I need to start, if I could get 1% commission on everything they ever do, I'd be rich. Yeah, David Miscavige, I think on the one hand, he thinks he's above it all. And on the other hand, I think Letterman, right? I've heard that. Steve Martin, okay. I had Jeff Goldblum the other day, somebody insisting that I was Jeff Goldblum. I don't mind. I wish I had the interest on his interest, you know. I'd feel very set up. Jello Biafra. Okay. I don't know what the hell he talks like, so whatever. I'll take it, you know. Boost my street cred with all these people for sure. Audiobooks, yes. That would be awesome. Someday there'll be, you know, I'll get discovered in Hollywood for my voice talking about Scientology. Hi, new here. Are you gelling? Exactly like Mark Bunker. Well, you know, I am trying slightly to be his successor now that he... No, hell no, not that teacher in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Isn't that the guy that got busted for you know what? With children? No, I don't need that dude. But maybe, no, I'm thinking of a different guy. That was, maybe that's not that guy. I'm not sure. You got me from DOA. Yeah, he's awesome. Ben Stein. He's even slower than me, isn't he?
I'll let you deal.
But anyway, nice view over the Hollywood Hills, the Hollywood sign. It's a little bit nippy right now, probably, you know, 58 degrees or something. That's a very cold snap here. No, I watched DOA's, well, I watched half of his interview yesterday with Natalie. Very interesting guy. Actually, I was there when he first arrived on the scene before he was filming anything or whatever. I was just with some other people over by the testing center, and everybody was like checking out his van, and you know, I kind of, I like what he's doing. It's cool. When he had the cape on, yeah, I mean, what was it, a week or so ago, 2 weeks, I can't keep track of time, but when he was standing out there with the Kool-Aid sign in front, and it was like raining and cold for here, and the dude had shorts and like no shoes, he's standing barefoot on the sidewalk. Pretty wild. I like that spirit. Hello.
Hello.
Would you guys like to be interviewed about the evil of Scientology?
Interview about
The evils of Scientology.
the evils of Scientologists. I don't know.
You don't know anything? Where are you guys from?
Brazil. But
Brazil, cool.
Yeah, I imagine that Scientologist would be someone that is always for the science.
No,
No?
no, it's a cult. Secta.
I know that. I know something about that.
Yeah.
It's on
You too? But
Look on YouTube. It's really famous now. Everybody's protesting in Hollywood about these people.
YouTube. Look at that.
these people, they're
You see all the cameras? See, it's like CIA everywhere.
They see.
That's those people. Don't let them come to Brazil.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Have a good day. Enjoy Hollywood. Hey, if they can recruit people off the street, so can I. Brazilians, nice. They didn't really know much about it. But that's cool. That's why we teach. Do a top 10 list. Yeah, well, since everybody says I sound like Letterman, I think I'm going to have to write a lot of top 10 lists. And then I'm going to have to like listen to Letterman and try to make my voice more like him. Since I've never even had that thought, it might be hard. Yeah, we have. We've met while we're. The weird thing is that when you're live streaming like this, and you meet each other, you kind of review Ari Jellin's comment. Okay, some of these comments disappear from view, and I don't really know how to do the whole thing about it. But let me see what happens when I press that button. Okay, live chat. There we go. You know, I don't really know what I'm doing with this stuff, so we'll say. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I see DOA all the time. I can set up an interview with him, and, you know, we can just interview each other. We'll just, you know, I have to figure that out, where I do a show with somebody else. Oh, I see. Right. Top chat. Okay. So, no, I see him all the time. I mean, it won't be hard to set something up with him. But if you want to help me do that, absolutely. You know, we could set that up. I'm ready to do it tomorrow. Actually, I saw his van over at Big Blue yesterday. Damn, these skies have been looking nice lately. I saw his van. I was looking around for him. Everybody said, "Oh yeah, he was just here," and his van was parked there, but I didn't see him. Maybe he was crashing out inside or something. Who knows? So yeah, here we go. More continuation of this building. Yeah, looking very Scientological, I would say. Although not as many cameras as you'd see in most things, but that could be because there's nothing really important. Well, there's a camera there, and there's a camera over there. So, and there's a camera at the very end of, yeah, must be Scientology. Oh yeah, and another camera inside. 2 in 1 shot. Speaker there. And then we go a little further and we get another camera. So, right. When I was there, it was probably before his bedtime. But yeah, anyway, I didn't see him around. And, but I saw him the day before. I mean, we're always running into each other, you know, all of us basically. But a lot of times it's just like we're doing these live streams. So, oh, okay. Well, yeah. So the comment was not getting a lot of these channels in your feed. It's good to make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure they didn't unsubscribe you accidentally, and you know, go over all of your favorite channels. And I mean, when you're watching them, you just look at the subscribe button and make sure that you're already subscribed. And it's a good thing to always check that, because anything controversial, it seems that people just magically get unsubscribed every now and then. So anyway, the paranoia is such a sign, and click the bell, exactly. It's I haven't heard about it yet, but I've heard about it a lot. Aaron has talked about that, and so there is a lot about that I have heard, but I haven't heard it recently that people have been getting unsubscribed from our channels. But, you know, I've heard it with so many other channels over the years that it's just a good thing to look. And then there's, you might not be unsubscribed from a channel, but they just might not be feeding you as much stuff. So you just got to make sure to give it a lot more likes. That should make the algorithm give you more of what you like. Oh, have they illuminated him more? Good for you. He does need to be in his full glory. Oak, brandy, and wisdom. Okay, I like that. I'll take it. Do we have any goobers within? Goobers. Show yourselves, goobers. Yeah, I'm going to start doing more stuff from home, and where I can really sit and review certain materials and do my professorial thing, and take apart this cult. Yes, I am tall. I am tall. I'm about a little over 6 feet, like 6'2". So, yeah, they do like to hide. Another part of their paranoia. And, I mean, if you look at this ceiling in here, and the fact they have this shitty wall here with a camera. Oh yeah, we can definitely set that up. And if you want to help me set it up, absolutely. My email is on this YouTube channel. It's davymismanage@protonmail.com. The psychiatry. Yeah, where is that psychiatry? Sunset and what? I've seen it, but not recently. I can't name the location offhand. But I know people who have gone in, and they didn't even know it was Scientology, and they went into that psychiatry museum, and they walked through the whole thing. Nobody even tried to get their information. I mean, this was a couple years ago, and they were there for an hour, basically just to get out of the summer heat, get into some air conditioning for free. And then they left, and there was no sales pitch, nothing. And when they told me, I was like, that was Scientology. And they're like, no, it wasn't. I said, oh yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Polkaroo. Yeah, 102 now, thank you. 102 likes. Let's get it to at least 111. We got to get that magic 111 number. But thank you guys. No, it's good if you guys tell us that these things are happening, so that we can warn everybody on our live streams or our videos. But I think if I got one of those strikes, I might make a lot of videos from home and stuff, and let the 10 days go by. So, you don't want to go to 2 strikes and then all of a sudden you're at 3 before you know it. The website has a virtual tour. Okay. What's funny is if you look at the Scientology. Hey, Hell Gear, thank you for the super chat. That's so awesome. Do you pronounce your name that way, or is it different? It's Goobertology. Yeah, we need to normalize the term goober. We need to bring goober back. I was very happy when SpongeBob did the Goofy Goober song. That threw me into spasms of exaltation. But goober is a very underused word that needs to really amp it up. And now that everybody's focusing on Scientology, we have the perfect chance to normalize saying goober, because they are goobers. They are super goobers, actually. And they set the standard for gooberization throughout this entire quadrant of the Galactic Federation. The goobers in Scientology out-gooberize many nations on Earth devoted to things like polka. Sorry, Polkaroo, but you know. And who has seen the Goober German song with the cuckoos on YouTube? Out-gooberize. There we go. Yeah. Well, nobody can out-gooberize the goobers like the goobers of Scientology. Because the gooberization of the universe starts here. Gooberization starts here with Scientology, holding the standard for goobers nationwide and through this quadrant of the Galactic Federation. The headquarters of goobers, paranoid goobers who feel a fetishistic love for cameras. L. Ron Goobered. The L. Ron. Now, if somebody could get in there and change that H to a G, I'm not calling for any illegal acts. I'm just fantasizing, okay, people? This is not an incitement. But it is, I am allowed to fantasize about revealing the full gooberizational capabilities of L. Ron Hubbard and his minions. Oh, there we have a goober thing, a little goober stage deal with banners and all that. One thing that dumbass cults like to do is have badges and awards and military costumes so they can play soldier. Because obviously they're not gay. No, not Scientology. Scientology's not gay at all. It's just gooberish. And that's a very Scientological looking dude. Not trying to out anybody who's innocent, but by the way he's running away from me at the sight of a camera, I would say that's probably a Scientologist, a gay Scientologist, living through the excruciating pain of being closeted in a time when being closeted is no longer necessary, except within the gooberized cult of Scientology. And you want to tell these people, you don't need to be in the closet anymore. The whole sector of the universe that we reside in right now supports your choices, except for your gooby ass so-called religion, which is not a religion. It is a bunch of paranoid goobers holding on to each other for comfort in what they perceive to be a disorderly, chaotic, and dangerous world. And they hold on to their procedures, and they hold on to their superstitions and their paranoid fears. And they hold on to the illusion that they are the only ones who can solve the problem that they made up. Hey, thanks for everybody for going above the 111. And we're at 114 likes. Thank you very much. Anybody feeling the inspiration of Xenu to subscribe, please do. That helps me a lot. We're getting the message out to a lot of people. And we're covering a little bit more of the backstory, a little bit more of the intellectual underpinnings of this illusion, of this cult, of this nightmare organization. Everybody's really jumping at the goober word. I love it. Because I've introduced the goober concept internationally on many occasions, and I have taught hundreds of people in many, many countries the goober concept, because they didn't know the goober concept. And if you don't know the goober concept, what is there to prevent you from slipping away into the chasm of gooberosity? Nothing. So you have to understand the concept that, like, hey dude, you don't want to be a goober, man. Being a goober is a bummer. It's not what you want to be. And then people's like, what is a goober? And then you tell them what it is. Oh, I did not know about goober. And you say, okay, well, chill on the accent, because you're kind of sounding like a goober right now. And, but, you don't want to be too harsh. And then the people are like, thank you. Thank you so much, Davey Mismanage, for saving me from the bottomless pit of humiliation and fear and gooberosity. And I say, de rien. And they say, what the hell does that mean? I don't speak French. And I say, don't worry about it. And yes, the goober life is a hard life to live. And hence, many goobers feel the need to surround themselves with security measures. Because being a goober is already being in a state of weakness. And when you feel this level of weakness, of course it makes you want to cling to security blankets of some sort. And so your security blankets could be rules and regulations, procedures. You want predictability in life. You want to know that we get on the slave bus at 11 p.m. and we go back to our slave quarters, and we are permitted 5.5 hours of sleep before we have to get up and scrub toilets with our own personal toothbrushes. And that regularity, that predictability gives us a sense of safety, a sense that the world is not that scary of a place, and that we are safe, and we don't have to cry anymore and clutch our little L. Ron Hubbard pillow. And so, it's good that these people have this level of safety, this level of security in their lives, because otherwise they might be quivering wrecks of paranoia. There might be a lot of bedwetting if you took away their security blankets. It is a statistic that the majority of Scientologists wet the bed up until they were 27 years old. Okay? I have nothing against bedwetters, but I just want to say to all the bedwetters out there, I love you, and you don't need to join a cult just because you pee in your bed. Okay? You don't deserve what cults do to you. Okay? Do you guys hear me up there? It's okay that you pee in your bed. And you don't have to get bunk beds in slave quarters just because you can't control your bladder. That's the way the Lord made you. And it's okay. And, you know, you are forgiven. Wet somebody else's. That's the way to do it, for sure. Yeah, maybe I could make a lot of money selling rubber sheets to Scientology. That would be a good thing. Because Scientology, facts, exactly. We're just dishing out facts right here on the corner of Hollywood Boulevard and Ivar, where the bulk of Scientology's evil, what did they call it? The banality of evil. That was Hannah Arendt after World War II, and when they saw all the people at the Nuremberg trials, all these Nazis, and they were like, this looks like bureaucrat. This looks like people that work at the DMV. Okay? These are drones. These are not the image that we had of these evil monsters doing all this stuff. No, they're just like paper-pushing bureaucrats. And so she was remarking on how weird it was that these people just looked normal and boring, even though, hey Mike, yeah, I like it. You know, that these were just bureaucrats fulfilling their bureaucratic tasks. And they weren't these henchmen types that were making evil sounds and like, yeah, we're gonna murder. They weren't doing that. They were just like, oh, we have quotas to meet and we have statistics, just like Scientologists. Okay, every day or every Thursday, it's Thursday, right? Not that I ever can keep track, but Scientologists have to submit their statistics for the week. And this is another source of paranoia. I was just following orders. Yeah. And so every week, this is a great source of fear and paranoia for Scientologists, that they have to present their statistics for the week. Every job in Scientology is statistically monitored, right? There is a statistic for everything. It's how many people did you lure off of the street into your lair? How many people did you sell a book to? How much money did you get off of people? Everything is a statistic in Scientology. And every Thursday at I can't remember what time, like 10 a.m. or whatever it is. Whatever, somebody on the chat will know. But what they do is that they have to present their statistics. And according to Scientology, if you are doing Scientology correctly, your statistics will always improve week to week. And there should be no excuse for not improving. And so, how many body thetans did you zap? Exactly these kind of things. Quantifiable things like, how many body thetans did you zap? Something that can easily be counted. And so what happens is then they when their statistics have not improved from the week before, well, this is proof that they're doing something wrong. They are not KSW. They are not keeping Scientology working. They might be connected to a suppressive person, you never know. They might not know that they're connected to a suppressive person. So we might need to do one of the most paranoid things that has ever been done in history, and it's called a witch hunt. So in Scientology, if you get sick or you're failing in any way, you stub your toe, you get in a car accident, anything like that, well, then what happens is you either have to find out if it's you. Are you having evil thoughts? Are you having secret evil thoughts that are not allowed by the cult? Are you thinking freely? Are you thinking independently? How dare you? But if it's not you, then it must be somebody in the vicinity. And we must root them out, hence the witch hunt. Now the witch hunt begins, and we get on that e-meter, and we start naming names, and we start looking at what Bud Abbott. Here's an attention span for you. Bud Abbott and Costello. I have a friend who used to mow his lawn back in the 60s and used to hang out with him. And Bud Abbott used to bitch quite a bit about how much actors are paid these days and how he got ripped off. Back in those days, Abbott and Costello, people like that, all the actors in Hollywood, they were just paid a weekly rate. And then they just went to work. And no, I know he's been dead for a while, but my friend's older than me, and so he used to like run errands and mow the lawn and do all this stuff for Bud Abbott. Lived in the neighborhood, and all those actors back in the days, they were really kind of they did well, whatever, but they were on contract to the studios. They got a certain weekly rate, and they went to work, and they made movies, and they made, whatever they made. And they didn't get a cut of the box office. They just got their weekly rate. They got no residuals. And that's good, Adam. And so Bud Abbott was kind of pissed at that later on. He was like, what the hell, man? No, I saw his star here on Hollywood Boulevard. Maybe you weren't looking when I said it, but I'll show it again. There you go, proof. So those people were, it's kind of funny when you pace up and down on a certain part of Hollywood Boulevard, like over there by the testing center, and then you realize, oh, I haven't really even looked at who the stars are here. So every now and then I like to pay a little attention, and a lot of them, I have no clue who they are. And then some of the times you have a bunch of them, like Richard Carlson. No idea who you are, dude. No clue. Ann Rutherford, no clue. Tony Martin, no clue. Otto Kruger, no clue. Well, I do like seeing the people that I have no clue about in front of Scientology. That's a good thing. Kenny Baker, no idea. Eve Arden, okay, I know that name. Eve Arden. Grace Kelly, now we're getting somewhere. Grace Kelly, okay. So anyway, Rosemary Clooney. There's the mama. The Clooney mama. And Desi.
All right. I'll be back later.
Desi Arnaz. Doesn't get more major than that in TV history. Let's hope they were not all Scientologists. But one thing you got to remember is back in the day, back in like the 50s and 60s, Dianetics was kind of like a fad in Hollywood, a little self-help movement. And, you know, people were trying all kinds of stuff back then. They were experimenting. And Scientology was something, you know, before it really went downhill and became exposed for the cult that it is. And it always was. That, you know, they didn't really get that horrible bad name until the last, 20, 30 years. But there was always stuff going on about Scientology. But they had a lot more power back then, and there was a lot more ignorance in society as a whole. So people didn't know. But lately, ever since the Anonymous movement, it's been pretty consistent. I mean, it goes in waves, and right now, we're probably, in terms of the numbers of people involved, we are in the glorious heyday of the anti-Scientology movement, and it's awesome. It is beautiful, because this is changing the world, and I will go back, and I will always go back to my theme, that we are, as a species, we are taking down these power structures one by one. And when somebody says, well, why Scientology? Why do you care about that? Well, it goes back to that idea of think globally and act locally. That's what the hippies used to say. Think globally, act locally. So you think about the global implications of everything, but you do what there is to be done right in your neighborhood. And my neighborhood has a human trafficking cult. My neighborhood is inflicted with a paranoid cult committed to human trafficking on a grand scale internationally. And so that is me acting locally, walking down the street to the nearest Scientology location, or maybe driving 10, 20 minutes in my car and showing up at a Scientology location and just talking a little shit, because that's fun. And the more that everybody knows about it, because a huge percent of the population just still thinks, oh, isn't that religion with all the celebrities? No, there are a few. Most of them are not in. If they are in, they're not active. And if they are active, they are not proud of it at all. And many of them are Scientologists in name only. They're not really committed Scientologists. So that's fun. So as we shine the light, we notice that they close the curtains. Because sunlight is a powerful disinfectant. And disinfectant would ruin their whole gig. Well, yeah, that'll get them going, talking about getting committed. Psychiatry, if you want to get Scientologists paranoid, yeah, that's the best thing to talk about. You need to be committed by a psychiatrist to a mental institution. Oh my God. Not disagreeing, but that would feed into every paranoid delusion that L. Ron Hubbard ever counted on. Well, it definitely looks like that, and I will be returning to the Adam of Adam. Okay, Adam, I'm going to be going to your other Adam, my representative, Adam Schiff, because I went there the other day, and I was met by a locked door that could not be unlocked, and a really nice guy named Mohammed, and who told me because of the Capitol Police rules, he could not open the door to my congressman's office. So I left with some questions. What they really oppose about psychiatry is that psychiatry rejected the ideas of L. Ron Hubbard. He got butthurt, so he made them the root of all evil in the universe. That's a short story. So I left Adam Schiff, the congressman who now is seeking to be a senator from California. I left his aide, or whatever you call the guy, Mohammed. I left him some questions. And these questions I would like you to ask any politician in your area. And that is that, number one, would you support congressional hearings into the tax-exempt status of Scientology? Number two, have you taken any donation money from Scientology? And number three, have you attended any Scientology events? Scientology likes to punk politicians and police officers by bringing them to their Scientology events and then getting them in a lot of pictures posing with a bunch of Scientologists, thereby discrediting that person's political aspirations for life. Potentially, if we wake up and realize, hey, why you got your arm around a Scientologist and you're all smiley? There's a picture of one of the top LAPD officers, I don't remember her name, but it's a picture from a party where she's posing with Danny Masterson with her hand on his shoulder. A police official, chummy with an R-wordist type abuser of women. Not a good look. Not a good look. And a look that I would definitely tell any cop or politician, avoid that kind of picture. Not something that you want going out there. And if you're going to be running for re-election, you don't want your opponent plastering the neighborhoods with pictures of you at Scientology functions. That might have worked before. It will not work anymore. Now it will be something that discredits you and makes you look bad forever. Don't do it. And so, as night falls on Scientology, we detect a glow from the Space Navy offices, hard at work. For them, it's only lunchtime right now. For the rest of us, it's the end of a work day for most people. And these people are hunkering down until their bus comes to take them home not really to a home, to a bunk bed in a room with 6 or 8 people, to be fed meager rations, so that you can wake up and do it all over again 7 days a week. And hey, you only have 999,994 years to go for the average Sea Org member. So what a problem. You got it, Chichikana. Exactly. Those are the questions. Those questions need to be asked to precisely everybody from dog catcher to presidential candidate from now on. And I will announce formally that I am a one-issue voter in 2024. I am a one-issue voter. If you will not commit to some just basic measures dealing with Scientology, I will not vote for you. Are you scared? Are you feeling paranoid? Maybe like a Scientologist? Well, that would be good, because that would be accurate, because I'm not the only one. And I have a lot of people who agree with me on my channel and many other channels that we're not going to vote for somebody who says, well, I really don't know much about that. And Adam Schiff would have zero excuse. And I have heard that he has been asked this before. So the fact that Mohammed in his Burbank office did not have a ready-made answer to that question, that's a bad sign for Adam. So I hope Adam does better. I hope Adam has all of his offices ready to hand us something in writing. Here's my position on Scientology. Because I don't know what his position was in the past. I only know that he's been asked. So he cannot say this is the first time it's come up. Because there's no way. Because there are 2 major headquarters of Scientology in America. There's here in Hollywood, California. There's Clearwater. And Adam Schiff's district encompasses most of Scientology in California. So he has no excuse for not having a position, or not having done his homework, or waffling. And he's running for Senate now. So he doesn't only need to be concerned about his district, he needs to be concerned about the whole state. And maybe if Scientology had some huge voting block in this district, maybe he felt like he had to play ball with them. Well, if so, and I'm not saying this is the case, we will find out when I go there very soon. If this is the case, and he did play ball with them, he's going to have to renounce that. He's going to have to change his ways, or there's going to be a lot of people on a lot of YouTube channels talking about it and exploring that theme. And that would not be good for somebody with aspirations for the Senate. Because anybody trying to run for Senate has a thought deep down about the pathway to the presidency just got a lot shorter. If you go from the House of Representatives to the U.S. Senate, it doesn't mean you're going to make it to president, far from it. But you got a lot closer. And because you got voted in by an entire state rather than just a district. So the stakes are very high, and he should be paying attention. So, exactly. I'm going to have to write up a non-goober
Right now, I don't seem attentive.
mission statement around all this. But anyway, that's all I have for now. I'm going to take a break or wait till tomorrow, and there will be more. Thank you for giving me 134 likes. I'm thrilled. It's almost double the amount of people watching, not quite, but that's really awesome. And please subscribe if you haven't already, and that would be highly appreciated. And there will be more Scientology stuff coming. Goober from Dukes of Hazzard actually went to Congress. Well, yeah. Why am I not more shocked? Yeah, catch you the next one. Thanks, everybody. And more later, I promise. Bye-bye.